Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be doing a collage page and it's called Stop Hoarding the Good Stuff, because I have finally decided that I have got so much stuff sticking around that I'm just not going to hoard it anymore. I'm going to start using it. So this is me breaking out my good stuff. The first thing I'm going to do is in my Small Dilutions Use It Up journal, I'm gluing down some scraps of paper. Now these are all bits and pieces from the Collage Collective from Dina Wakley that I've been using it a lot and cutting out chunks of it, and I've been ending up with all these little scraps of paper left over, which are really interesting and I love, but I haven't been using, and they've just been piling up and piling up. So I've been forcing myself to just stick them into my Use Them Up journals and come up with something to do with them. So that's what I'm doing here. Now these are all in the Collage Collective. She's got two paperweights. One is a thinner paper. It is thicker than printer paper, however, probably more like scrapbooking paper, a little bit lighter. And then there's actually thicker card as well. So this is a sort of scrap papery weight stuff. So you can see I'm being quite generous with my gel medium, just to make sure that it's all glued down and it's not going to lift up. And I'm just tearing it into random bits and pieces. I have no real thoughts about where this is going, other than I just want to get these scraps glued down on my page and use them for something. So as I was doing this, I've been going through my sort of collage drawers and trying to tidy up somewhat, and I have come across a whole heap of treasures over the last little while that have been sitting on my shelf for a good 15 or so years. So I've got some old journals and diaries that had beautiful artwork in them that I haven't used, and I've always had them sitting there thinking, oh, I'll use those one day. So those are the things that are getting broken into today. First of all, I'm just adding some colour into my background to tie my pages together, and I'm using the Finnabair liquid acrylics to do that. So that yellow is a bit misleading. You look at it and think it's more of an olive green, but when you actually spread it out, you get this beautiful yellow colour. Because I do know I want to sort of ghost these images and layer up a few different colours, I am drying out the layers as I go. And that's really important if you want to do layers with acrylic, that each of your layers below needs to be dry before you do something else. Otherwise you're going to mix the paint colours, which sometimes can be disastrous. So here I am putting blue over the top. Obviously if I hadn't dried that yellow layer, I would get green. Now I am getting a green tinge anyway, and that's just because it's the two colours, translucent colours, laid over the top. But if I'd actually done wet on wet, you would just get a green colour. I'm just going in with a damp wet wipe. It's not particularly wet, and rubbing off the extra paint so you can get that pattern in the background, which I quite like. I wish I'd leave some things sometimes though. I look at that page and think, oh, I should have just left it like that. So now I'm drying off this layer, and now I'm going in with some magenta-y colour over the top as well. And the reason I'm putting this in is because I do have those large pieces of purple in the background, so I wanted to sort of bring some of that into, particularly into the left-hand page, which didn't have much of that colour in there. And again, I'm going in with this stencil and rubbing most of that colour off, just so you get a highlight of that colour in the background. Again, just using a damp wet wipe. It doesn't need to be particularly wet, it just needs to be enough to remove that ink, the paint, sorry. So you get a really nice impression. If your wet wipe is too damp or too wet, you will actually sort of start to bleed the paint out underneath the stencils and get a bit of a blur. To combat that, you can, if you've got like a apron or just a piece of towel, just squeeze your wet wipe into that so it's a little bit drier, and then you can just do the same as before. So I'm just darkening up the page by adding a little bit of violet into it as well, and again going back in, changing stencil this time. I think this one's a Stencil Girl stencil, and doing the same process. So wiping off the extra paint so I can see those layers from below. So it's just adding in a little bit of colour, but you get these different layers happening. And you can see that I've got the collage in the background, but it's not taken away from the paint. And by putting the paint over the top, that means that everything's blended together, and the two pages are more uniform. So this is a sample of the book that I've been using. This is a Somerset Studio art journaling diary from 2004, which I've had sitting on my shelf, and I'm a terror. I never use diaries. I buy them and think I'm going to use them, and then I never do. But it had all this beautiful artwork in it. So I decided that I was just going to break into it, and this image of the rabbit really, really appealed to me. So I'm just cutting it out, and again, and some of the videos that you'll see coming up in the near future, you'll see some of these backgrounds that I'm cutting out now will be used as collage, just in the way I did them in the background here, because I couldn't bear to throw them out. So I'm just fussy cutting out the rabbit, and that's going to be the focal point in this particular page that I'm doing. I just loved how the sort of colour worked with the background, and I think it worked because the yellow and the purple are complementary colours, so it sort of really stood out. Again, because it's sort of come out of that thicker diary, it's that thicker paper, so when you're gluing it down, just be really generous with the gel medium as you glue it down, just to make sure that it's going to stay where it needs to. So now all I'm doing is trying to work out the perfect placement of my little rabbity person and to glue it into my book. You'll notice I sort of had it in one place and I'd folded the edge. It is a good idea, particularly if you're gluing it over the spine of your book, that you pre-fold it, just so that it will actually sit in nice and neatly into the spine of your book. Okay, so honestly, you wouldn't think it would take this long to glue something in. I really am making a dog's breakfast of this. One of the reasons it is a little bit tricky is because my book is so full. You can see it's got a real bulge in it. I'm actually getting the bone scorer out and just really making sure that that's got a nice fold in it so it will stay stuck where it needs to. All that glue over the edge, you can see me sort of rubbing in just to make sure that everything is glued down. There's no loose bits and pieces around the edge. I used to use a spatula, silicone spatula, to put my glue down. I've been finding recently that actually using a brush is a lot easier. I'm getting a much more even, I think, application of glue. So I just use these cheap brushes. These are IKEA brushes from the children's section. I think they cost $6 and you get eight brushes. I personally like them because I've got small hands, so I don't like having things with a really long handle. So these sit in really nicely. I've been chucking those gluey brushes into a pot of water just off to the side, and I haven't had any issues yet of them gluing up. So they've been working really, really well for me. Now here I am being really organized because I have been piling up my offcuts. So instead of doing that, I got out my large Dilutions journal and immediately glued my pages in because I already had a gluey brush. The bits were sitting here, so everything's in. I don't have a pile of papers sitting next to my desk, and I've got a background that I've got ready to go another day. So this is why I love having use it up journals, or a journal that I can just chuck stuff into. If you don't have one, I would really highly suggest that you have a journal like this. They're just brilliant for doing exactly this, or if I had paint left over on my paintbrush, I could paint that into this journal, and I've got a background for another day that I don't really need to think about. It's already got something on the page and I can just play with it. So as I was looking at this journal page, I really liked it, but I knew it needed some sort of quote in the background, and I decided that this had a real Alice in Wonderland vibe for me, particularly the rabbit in the heights, and that's what I decided to do. So I've got my phone out, as you can see there, and I have I tend to look for quotes on Pinterest. I sort of put in Alice quotes and choose one that I like. One of the reasons I like Pinterest for that is because it tends to be a more visual presentation of quotes. So, you know, with nice loopy writing, you can see them, the font's done in a different way instead of just on the internet where it's, you know, just typed out. And because I am trying desperately to try and make my fonts look a little bit more interesting, I like having a visual image that I can sort of use as a guide when I'm writing it out. This is my usual way of writing out a quote though, is I'll get my Posca paint pen. I tend to write it all out in block letters or capital letters, and then I'll go back and thicken up some of the lines to make it look more interesting. So this is me going back in and sort of making it look a little bit more interesting. The reason I do this is by doing that writing, first of all, I've kind of can write it out and work out my spacing somewhat. And you'll notice that I've got different shapes and sizes, which I really like, that sort of eclectic font look. And by doing this, I then know how much space I've got to widen lines or where the lines need to go to make it more interesting. So to finish off my quote, once I'd done all that, I've just gone with the Stabilo All Pencil to add some shadowing, and that was the page. So I do challenge you to get into your good stuff and break it out and have a go at creating your own collage with the stuff you've been hoarding. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.